Hello and welcome to Science Twitter Drama 2020. I'm going to quickly preface this video by saying that a lot of shit went down this year, and much of it was not just drama, but actively harmful for many people involved, especially Black women, Indigenous people, all kinds of early career researchers, and basically anybody marginalized within academia or industry science. This video is not intended to make light of that harm that was done. It is a slightly adjusted presentation that I did for a friend's holiday drink, talk, learn event, where we were all tasked with coming up with 3-minute presentations, some of them closer to 4, on something that we knew a lot about, but really couldn't be related to our field of work. So somebody talked about light bulb shapes. Another person gave us a breakdown of why the Destiny's Child Christmas album is actually the best holiday album ever produced. She's right. Mine was about science Twitter drama for an audience of people who are not on science Twitter. And with that being said, I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller, tuck myself up in the corner, and try and give you this presentation in as close to 3 minutes as I possibly can. In September, the long-awaited NumPy publication appeared in Nature. Many potential users pointed out this was an all-male and mostly white authorship list. The NumPy Bro Defense Squad decided to target an undergraduate woman science communicator instead of literally anyone else. The NumPy team came out with a whiny statement about how diverse they are and how they totally employ women, so they're way ahead of everybody else. This was more of a paper that we all dunked on than a true instance of drama, but a team at Penn State published a paper discussing the preventative vibrational healing properties of Jade amulets. Hashtag Indian bathroom. Edward Said is spinning in his grave at this Orientalist bathroom scene from a professor at Cardiff. Buddhist, Desi, and Persian archaeologists all pointed out that there were many offensive things about this bathroom, not least of which having Buddha heads above the toilet. This man then suggested they go study the teachings of the Buddha and leave him alone. Sarah Olson added again with lukewarm to bad takes, this time about how actually her barn cat is the one exception to the all cats should be inside rule. People critique this, and a large group of people who have historically had problems with her point out that this is not her first rodeo in being wrong. These are mostly women of color. Sarah then goes on a rant about how actually she's the oppressed one, then sicks her 15,000 followers on small accounts and accuses a bunch of women of color and their allies of being part of a SciComm woke girl gang. MC Hammer started boosting scholarly papers about and talking about the various Black and science initiatives this summer. This was great until he retweeted a few images and papers that were modified with a Christian slant of interpretation. People politely asked him what his purpose was with sharing those. He went off about the cult of science. Back and forth was had. People got nasty. It was a really unfortunate situation, but a possible redemption arc is on the horizon. Jen Heemstra, a problematique person extraordinaire, tried to publish a thread debunking latency rates in COVID infections, but she misinterpreted data and was called out. Instead of apologizing, she doubled down and posted a study that supposedly backed her up. Unfortunately for her, the study was about herpes and had a thumbnail picture that showed up when she tweeted the link, comparing 2 buttholes, one healthy and the other with an active herpes infection. In July, an overrated animal meme was going around, and Michael Eisen jokingly responded about a roundwort species, C. elegans, which is often used as a model organism in cell and systems biology. Most people laughed, some people did not, and began expressing shock that Michael, the editor of a noted biomedical and life sciences journal, would make a joke like this about their precious study species. Then things became entirely unhinged, with people saying that actually, making fun of worms is a metaphor for racism, sexism, and other forms of oppression, because worm lives matter, apparently. Finally, Beth Ann, man, she needs a lot of background to fully understand, but she was the founder of a Me Too STEM organization who turned out to be a racist, ableist bully and has a lot of shit going on. Sciencing By was a queer, indigenous, disabled adjunct professor teaching at ASU who has been forced out of Harvard after sexual harassment. She was forced to work in person at ASU and got COVID in May and tragically died in July. Beth Ann, a known Twitter friend of Sciencing By, broke the news in July. This then led to an outpouring of support, and Beth Ann even seemed to suggest that they were living together or somehow intimately evolved in her long Twitter eulogy. Except none of that is real, because Beth Ann made Sciencing By up. ASU has no record of her existence. People started digging and realized that actually this was a 4-year deep fake. There is a lot of evidence, but the first ever Sciencing By post is targeted at Beth Ann. The account has been suspended, and Beth Ann has also left Twitter and admitted that she made everything up. And now I leave you with some dishonorable mentions because I need a drink of water.